I am Allen Akankunda, an upcoming author for a novel entitled Wings from Ashes. Wings from Ashes is inspired by my personal story, but also my experience as a teacher working with teenagers. I have seen very many stories of young people who struggle and are limited by traditions, culture, customs, and very many other limitations that limit them from becoming and following their purpose. So this book is literally inspired by those stories, and I thought it would be good to put them in writing for every young person out there to read and know that they are not limited by anything, and it's very possible for them to fly. The central character in this novel is a young girl, Maya Murani, who represents every young person out there who's struggling with identity. She's a representation of you who stands in front of the mirror and maybe you think you don't measure up to the worldly standards of beauty. She's also a representation of you who thinks that where you come from can limit you from success. But also Maya is hope. Maya is an arm of resiliency, and she represents the version of you that refuses to give up and continues to work hard, to put in work in order to fly and become a person God has created you to be. In this book, I also honor the sacrifices and struggles of mothers. In many parts of African societies, but also the world at large, we've seen how women struggle. Mothers struggle with bringing up their children and bringing up the good in their children. In this book, I want to encourage every mother out there, especially those who are left or abandoned by their spouses, that it's okay sometimes to feel the pain, it's okay sometimes to cry, but to be resilient is one thing that I encourage you to keep on, to be consistent, and to raise your children with character and values for people in future, not to say that your children act a certain way because they were raised by a woman. What I know, resilience pays after. I also address culture sometimes disguises as chains. Culture is beautiful because it shows us our history, our roots, and where we come from. But when tradition sometimes comes in a way of limiting us from becoming and acting as shackles of limiting us from reaching our goals, it's really dangerous. So in this book, I want readers to really embrace freedom, and freedom starts with knowing who you are and what you want. It starts with gaining the courage to question some things, reflect, and try to walk away from those norms that limit you from your becoming. It's not that we are going to carry on every tradition, that even those that limit us. So we carry on the ones that empower us, and then walk away from those that limit us, however much they are rooted in our past. Culture education is also a key thing that is addressed in this novel, and in this as an author, I'm not just looking at academics, but I've witnessed how educating a girl can help them gain esteem, help them make informed decisions, and we know how empowered women really build nations, empower families, and we know that educating a girl is really empowering a generation. Another key point that I emphasized in this, it's like a lesson that I emphasized in this novel, is that flying sometimes starts from crawling in ashes. When something is burnt in ashes, we really don't expect much of it. We expect like it's done, and that's something that society sometimes gets us to define ourselves with. It limits us to knowing that we are nothing. But flying, however much we put in work, it sometimes doesn't have to be instant or so fast. It takes consistency, being patient, because if we are to do something really out of these ashes, it's not going to be in a day or two. So it may take years, it may take decades, but with time, really, resiliency and consistency pays. That's something so close to my heart that I wanted to emphasize, and I wanted my readers to get from this book. Working with Desha Publishing Company has really been an incredible experience. Being a first author, I really didn't know so much about publishing, but they welcomed me, they guided me, and I'm really excited that my manuscript is coming to life, which is a dream come true. If you asked me whether I would recommend Desha Publishing House, yes. And to my upcoming authors, I really would like to encourage you and to inspire you and to advise you to not just wait for things to first be perfect. Start from where you are. It's a matter of connecting with the right people. The world waits to hear your story. Thank you.